Hey, it's a Humble Collector here, and today's video we're going to take a look at the two-panel death card of Otto Knodlseder. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So going from the top here, we see a nice photo of Otto with his EK2 ribbon. And moving down, memorial in love and quiet grief of the brave hero Otto Knodlseder, Unteroffizier in an Infantry Regiment, bearer of the Iron Cross 2nd Class and several other awards, participant in several campaigns, who, on October 28, 1943, in a defensive fight in Gomel, Russia, was killed by shrapnel, sacrificing his life for his beloved home at the age of 23, honor to his memory. Now, we did actually find a casualty record for Otto, though interestingly, his casualty record lists his last name as Knodlseder with an extra E, so Knodlseder, but everything else lines up, so I'm assuming this is the same person. He was born on December 13th, 1920 in Hausenberg, and was a member of the 9th Company of Grenadier Regiment 519, which was part of the 296th Infantry Division. And according to his casualty record, he was killed by a direct artillery hit at Nowosselkyj, which, as we can see on the map here, is actually near Gomel, Belarus. So everything kind of lines up there. And it's interesting the family actually has the cause of death on the card. That's a bit unusual. Very common during World War I. Now, cause of death listed. That kind of falls out of favor in World War II for whatever reason. Now, I do actually have several other cards for members of the 296th Infantry Division. Georg Holzapfel was a Gefreiter in the 10th Company of Infantry Regiment 519, and died as a result of a gunshot injury which fractured his thigh, eventually leading to a prolapsed abscess in his femur that eventually caused an infection and circulatory damage, which ended up killing him on October 12th of 1941. Johann Thoma was a Gefreiter in the 6th Company of Infantry Regiment 520, and was killed by an artillery hit at Kalina, Ukraine on December 27th, 1941. Ludwig Hessenhofer was an Obergefreiter in the 6th Company of Grenadier Regiment 521 and was killed by a gunshot wound to the chest at Dubishche, Ukraine on March 28, 1943. And finally, Georg Lechner, who was a pioneer in the 3rd Company of Pioneer Battalion 296, and he would also die at Gomel, Belarus on November 18, 1943, so just a couple weeks after Otto here. And moving to the back of the card, we have a nice HCOM backing. We can actually see from the damage to the corners, this was affixed in an album at some point, either a family photo album or perhaps an earlier collector's album, maybe a few decades ago. Most collectors these days tend to use the plastic sleeves you can put items in. They don't actually damage the items, but wasn't considered as big of a deal back in the day. And this is actually a nice HCOM backing, and we can see in the field grave here, Otto Knodlseder, Unteroffizier, fell October 28th, 1943, and then down at the bottom, we were not meant to see you again, so rest in God's peace. My Jesus mercy. See, overall, pretty interesting card. It's uncommon for the cause of death to be listed, but then also for the location and everything to line up pretty well with where the soldier was actually killed. So clearly somebody in his unit, either a commanding officer or perhaps one of the medics or who tended to him, perhaps one of his friends, wrote back to the family and they were able to include that information on the card. So yeah, overall, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll see you all again very soon.